We're theater kids. Of course, we're always half naked and in socks.
We're theater kids. Of course, Tech has to run backstage because somebody missed their cue.
We're theater kids. Of course, we're gonna tell people to shut up, even though we won't.
We're theater kids. Of course, we don't have an actual life.
We're theater kids. Of course, we come to schools on Saturdays. We're theater kids. Of course, this kid is the cutest guy on Tech.
Dylan, let's go. We're theater kids. Of course, we chase each other around with no shoes. We're theater kids. Of course. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5.
Theater kids. Of course, we randomly break out into song.
We're theater kids. Of course, I'm gonna cry after closing night. We're theater kids. Of course, we freak each other backstage.
I'm a drama teacher. Of course, I'm sick of these kids.
I'm the director's wife. Of course, I helped out with the costumes.
They're drama kids. Of course, they're practicing TikTok trends. They're practicing their lines and yelling at the top of their lungs and singing last year's musical. Theater kids. Of course, we're doing TikTok trends and singing last year's musical at the top of our lungs. We're theater kids. Of course, we're begging for food 24/7 because we don't have any.
We're theater kids. Of course, we're playing games instead of practicing our lines.
We're theater kids. Of course, we're messing around backstage and yelling.
We're theater kids. Of course, we're trapped in here.
We're theater kids. Of course we explode in the middle of the night.
We're theater kids. Of course, we do dumb things backstage and just in general.